Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to dive into a dramatic story about Alex discovering that Tuna had stolen his money, which led him to contact the police in search of her. Fearing the consequences, Tuna ran away after seeing Johnny with the officers, leaving behind Ms. Tang's home to escape and hide. It's a journey filled with tension, fear, and the desperate fight for survival. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on the next episodes. In this episode, the story takes a dramatic turn as Alex discovers his money has gone missing and believes Tuna is the thief. Feeling betrayed and desperate, he reaches out to the police for help, determined to track her down. Terrified after spotting Johnny with the officers, Tuna flees from Ms. Tang's home, leaving her child behind in hopes of keeping him safe. Exhausted and afraid, she hides from place to place, clinging to the thought of survival and her child's future. Meanwhile, Alex, torn between anger and lingering care, searches tirelessly with Officer Long. Memories of Tuna's past kindness haunt him, leaving him questioning whether the truth is deeper than betrayal. As dawn approaches, Tuna continues running, while Alex vows to find her and uncover the truth. Their fates remain bound by secrets and unanswered questions. Dawn crept over the small village, spilling pale light through the old wooden shutters of Ms. Tang's modest home. Inside, Tuna stood quietly by the bed, her weary eyes fixed on her sleeping child, safely nestled in the arms of the elderly woman. With shaky hands, she placed a bottle of milk on the table, her voice breaking softly. "Grandma, please, give this to him when he wakes." Ms. Tang nodded, offering a gentle smile, a silent attempt to calm the storm raging inside Tuna. Bending down, Tuna kissed her child's tiny forehead. Her grip lingered, her heart unwilling to let go. In a whisper only the child could hear, she said, "Stay good, baby. Mom's going to work. I'll come back for you." Her steps toward the door were heavy, dragged down by dread and guilt. For weeks, Alex's money had gone missing, and when he confronted her, anger and disbelief had filled his eyes. He had accused her of stealing, and though she wanted to explain, words had failed. That painful moment was carved into her memory. His disappointment had cut deeper than any wound. And so, instead of defending herself, she chose to walk away. Outside, the early breeze carried the scent of wet soil. Tuna hugged herself, whispering, "If only Alex had trusted me. If only I still belonged." The thought of him calling the police sent chills down her spine. She had seen Johnny standing with officers just yesterday, and fear gripped her. To her, Johnny's presence meant danger. If she stayed, she could be caught. She could lose her child. So, she decided she had to leave. Not just Alex, not just Ms. Tang's house, but everything. Under the shade of a longan tree nearby, Alex stood stiff and restless. The weight of betrayal pressed on him. His phone buzzed, and he answered immediately. "Long," he said, his tone low but urgent. "Can you help me find her?" On the other end, Officer Long replied steadily, "Send me your location. I'll get a team ready." Relief flickered across Alex's face, yet confusion gnawed at him. He remembered Tuna's days at the farm, her laughter, her dedication. Had all of that been a lie? Was her smile hiding a thief's heart? His shoes crunched against the gravel as he walked, dust rising with every step, his mind drowning in questions. Locals said they had seen a young woman wandering, carrying nothing but shadows in her eyes. Each word of confirmation fanned a tiny flame of hope inside him. But at the same time, guilt dug deeper. Why, Tuna? Why steal from me? He muttered under his breath. His phone rang again. I'm close, Long confirmed. Don't stop searching. Alex nodded, though no one could see. Time was slipping away. Every second she stayed hidden, the harder it would be to bring her back. He pressed on, sweat glistening on his brow despite the morning air. He would not stop, not until he faced her again. At the village market, the day was already alive with noise. Vendors calling out, children laughing, chickens darting between baskets. Tuna stood behind a stall, arranging longans with trembling hands. The drizzle turned her hair damp, but she kept working, each movement mechanical, her mind elsewhere. Tuna, a voice called. Startled, she looked up to see Adam standing there, tall and steady, concern in his eyes. You're selling here? He asked gently. She nodded quickly, avoiding his gaze. Just today. The rain grew heavier, and Adam frowned. It's pouring. Let me take you home. I'll be fine, she said, but her voice lacked conviction. Adam didn't wait for more excuses. He guided her to his car, shielding her with his jacket. On the way, she spoke in fragments about gathering fruit in the fields, the long trek to market, and her child waiting at Ms. Tang's house. Her words trembled like leaves in the wind. At a roadside shop, Adam pulled over. Wait here. I'll buy something for you and the baby. Moments later, he returned with cakes and milk. He pressed the bag into her hands. Take it. Don't refuse. Her eyes grew misty as she whispered, Thank you. When they reached the house, Adam's phone buzzed with urgent messages. He had to leave, his figure disappearing quickly into the rain. Tuna stood frozen, clutching the bag to her chest, warmth blooming in her heart from his kindness. Yet fear returned just as quickly. If the police came, if Johnny told Alex where she was, she wouldn't just lose the little she had, she might lose her freedom. Her grip on the bag tightened. I have to go, she murmured. I can't stay here anymore. Night arrived with a chill, shadows stretching long across the village. Alex stood at a crossroads, his coat flapping in the wind. His voice trembled slightly as he called Johnny. I've searched everywhere, no sign of her. Johnny's reply was quick, almost firm. My police friends saw someone who matches her. They're setting up checkpoints. Alex's chest tightened. The word checkpoints made the situation feel real, dangerous. He clenched his jaw and said, I just want to find her. Moments later, headlights cut through the darkness. Officer Long stepped out of his car, his posture solid, his voice reassuring. We'll find her, tonight. They divided into teams. Alex went with Long. Johnny paired with another officer. The alleys seemed narrower at night, the silence heavy. Every corner they turned felt like it might hide her. Alex walked quickly, his heart pounding. Memories rushed back. Tuna laughing by the river, her eyes glowing in the sunlight. He whispered to himself, how did it come to this? Long gestured toward a small alley. She could be hiding here. Alex nodded, fists tight, eyes darting. The night swallowed their footsteps, echoing off the walls. Each sound made his pulse race. Somewhere out there, Tuna was running, alone and terrified. Tuna, Alex whispered again, his voice a plea carried by the wind. Above them, the stars flickered faintly, fragile as the hope he held inside. The search had only just begun. The night deepened, and silence hung over the narrow streets like a heavy curtain. Tuna's steps were hurried, her sandals slapping against the damp road as she moved farther from Ms. Tang's home. Every corner felt like it held eyes waiting for her. She had caught sight of Johnny earlier, standing with the police, and her heart nearly stopped. That image replayed in her mind like a haunting vision. Johnny's familiar figure beside uniformed officers. To her, it meant Alex had truly called them. She couldn't risk it. Not with her child at Ms. Tang's. Not with fear already clawing at her chest. "I'll disappear," she muttered. "I have to vanish before they find me." Tuna ducked into a side street, the dim glow of an old lamp flickering above. She pressed herself against the wall, struggling to breathe. Her mind swirled, images of Alex confronting her about the missing money, his voice sharp and hurt, his disbelief cutting through her like a blade. She remembered her silence, the way she had turned away instead of fighting to explain. And now, it was too late. Meanwhile, Alex pushed forward with Officer Long. The two men scanned alleys, their flashlights slicing through the darkness. Long's voice was firm. "If she's nearby, we'll find her. You just need to stay calm." But Alex shook his head, frustration simmering. "She took my money, Long, and yet I still don't want her to suffer out here alone." The officer shot him a quick glance, sensing the conflict inside him. "You called me because part of you wants justice, but another part of you wants answers. Am I right?" Alex didn't reply, but the silence was telling. His fists clenched as he walked. He remembered how Tuna had once trusted him enough to leave her child in his care. That memory gnawed at him, mixing guilt with anger. Elsewhere, Johnny moved with another officer. His flashlight swept across shuttered stalls and abandoned carts. The night air was damp, carrying the smell of rain-soaked earth. He muttered under his breath, "Tuna, don't make this harder." Johnny's feelings were conflicted too. Though not close, he had always seen her as a woman struggling to survive. To watch her vanish into the night now, branded as a thief, stirred something uneasy in him. Still, he had chosen to work with the police. Tuna found herself near the riverbank. The moonlight shimmered across the water, offering no comfort. She crouched low, hugging her knees. The bag Adam had given her still clutched tight. Tears welled in her eyes, blurring the reflection of the stars. Her voice cracked as she whispered to herself, "Was I wrong to leave? Should I have fought harder to explain? Alex will never believe me now." The sound of footsteps nearby jolted her back to reality. She scrambled to her feet, darting into a grove of trees. Branches scratched her arms, but she didn't stop. The only thought echoing in her mind was escape. Alex and Long reached the same riverbank minutes later. Flashlights swept across the reeds, Alex's chest tightened. He could feel her presence, as if her shadow still lingered there. He crouched, noticing faint footprints in the wet soil. "She was here," he said urgently. Long nodded. "Then she's close. We'll split again." Alex's heart pounded as he moved along the bank, every sense heightened. He thought of her child, sleeping peacefully in Ms. Tang's arms, unaware of the chaos unfolding. He whispered, almost to himself, "Tuna, don't run from me. Not like this." In a narrow lane farther away, Tuna stumbled into a small shrine. The flicker of incense candles illuminated her pale face. She sank onto the stone steps, exhausted. For a moment, the shrine felt like a refuge, a place where no one could judge her. She pressed her palms together, praying silently. "Please, let me survive this. Let me protect my child, even if I can never go back. Keep him safe." Her tears dripped onto the cold stone, but she quickly wiped them away. Weakness would not help her now. She rose again, pulling her shawl tightly around her shoulders, and slipped back into the night. Hours dragged on, and still no trace. Alex's frustration grew heavier with each passing minute. Long placed a steady hand on his shoulder. "We'll find her. But Alex, you need to ask yourself, what do you want when we do? Do you want her punished? Or do you want to understand her?" The question lingered in the air. Alex's throat tightened. "I don't know," he admitted. "She betrayed me. Yet, I can't let go of the thought that maybe there's more to this. Maybe I missed something." The night sky was beginning to pale, with the first hint of dawn, when Tuna reached the edge of another village. Her legs trembled with exhaustion, but she kept going. Farmers were already stirring, preparing for the day. She avoided their eyes, slipping past quietly like a shadow. Everywhere she went, she carried the weight of Alex's anger, the image of Johnny with the police, the fear of being caught. But stronger than all of it was her determination to stay free, to one day find a way back to her child. She whispered into the cool morning air, "I'll survive. No matter where I have to run, for him, I'll keep going." Back on the road, Alex stopped at a crossroads once again. The horizon was painted with streaks of orange. He stared at the empty road stretching ahead, his chest heavy. Long walked up beside him. "She's out there, you know that." Alex nodded, his voice low. "Yes, but for how long can she keep running?" Neither man had the answer. The search had begun with anger and suspicion, but now it carried something more complicated, a tangle of regret, doubt, and fragile hope. As the sun rose, Alex clenched his fists and whispered a vow only the wind could hear. "Tuna, wherever you go, I'll find you. And this time, I'll hear your truth." The story was far from over. Tuna was still running. Alex was still searching. And between them stretched a road filled with questions yet unanswered.